Did Enoch see Judgment Day and the end of the world? Were his writings controversial and blasphemous? The Book of Enoch is filled with vivid descriptions of otherworldly beings, apocalyptic prophecies, and strange visions of the future. The book offers a glimpse into a world that is both familiar and utterly alien. Is this the reason the book was banned from the Bible? Join us in this video as we delve deep into the intriguing history and compelling reasons behind the enigmatic Book of Enoch. Now, let's get right into it. So, who was Enoch? According to the Bible, Enoch was the great-grandfather of Noah. He was the son of Jared and the seventh generation from Adam. He lived for 365 years before he was taken up to heaven by God. Meanwhile, his son Methuselah went on to become the oldest person ever recorded in the Bible, living for 969 years. While there are references to Enoch in the official Bible, the Book of Enoch expands on this account. It describes Enoch as a righteous man who walked with God and was given visions of the heavens and the coming judgment of the world. In fact, Enoch is portrayed in the book as a prophet and a seer who had a deep understanding of the spiritual realm. The earliest known reference to the book is in the writings of several early Christian authors, including Tertullian and Origen, who quote from it and refer to it as a valuable work. In the book of Genesis, Enoch is said to be taken by God to heaven. In Hebrews, there is reference echoing the same about Enoch's passage to heaven. And in the book of Jude, Enoch is depicted as a prophet who foretold the coming of the Lord and the judgment of sinners. However, the book was lost to history for centuries, and it wasn't until the 18th century that it was rediscovered. The story of the book's rediscovery begins with a Scottish traveller named James Bruce, who journeyed to Ethiopia in the mid-18th century in search of the source of the Nile. While in Ethiopia, Bruce learned of a mysterious and ancient book that was said to contain the secrets of the universe. He was shown a collection of ancient manuscripts, including several copies of the Book of Enoch. Amazed by what he saw, he immediately recognized the significance of the text. James Bruce brought back copies of the Book of Enoch with him. The next major figure in the book's rediscovery was an English Hebraist and churchman named Richard Lawrence. Lawrence's translation was a sensation, and it sparked renewed interest in the Book of Enoch among scholars and religious leaders. However, it wasn't until the mid-20th century that the full extent of the book's importance became clear. In 1947, a cache of ancient texts was discovered in the caves of Qumran near the Dead Sea. Among these texts were several copies of the Book of Enoch, which provided valuable new insights into the book's origins and its place in ancient Jewish and Christian thought. Why is the book deemed to be so controversial, and why was it not included as part of the official canon? Before we can answer that question, we must first take a look at the contents of the Book of Enoch. What is contained in these pages that would have the dominant religions reject the texts? The book is divided into 5 main sections or books, each with its own unique focus and themes. The Book of Watchers. This book describes the story of the fallen angels who come to earth and take human wives, fathering a race of giants. They are called the nephilim. Enoch is taken up to heaven and shown the fate of these angels and the judgment that will come upon them. The Book of Parables. This book is a collection of prophetic visions that Enoch receives from God, describing the coming judgment of the world and the final triumph of righteousness over evil. It includes a description of the Son of Man, a messianic figure who will come to earth and establish a new kingdom. Not only does it depict the fall of the Watchers, but also that of the evil kings of earth. The Book of Heavenly Luminaries. This book is a detailed astronomical treatise describing the movements of the sun, moon, and stars, as well as their spiritual significance. The Book of Dreams. This book contains a collection of dreams and visions that Enoch has. It is a vision of the history of Israel including a vision of a great flood that will come upon the earth. The flood referenced here is the story of Noah and the ark, the book of final words and blessing. This final book contains a series of blessings and exhortations, as well as Enoch's farewell to his sons and his ascent to heaven. Now that we know the contents of the book, we can clearly see why some may find it opposite to the teachings of the time. Perhaps they did not want to include these alternate depictions of angels and lewd acts. So, why was the Book of Enoch banned from the Bible? Well, there are several reasons for this. In Judaism, the Book of Enoch was excluded from official canon for several possible reasons. First, the description of fallen angels seemed to be considered offensive. Some early philosophers even called it blasphemous. There is a second possible reason too. The book was considered just an interpretation of Deuteronomy, which is part of the official Torah. Since it's just commentary, there was no need to include it as an official part. The book also contains some teachings that were considered unorthodox or even heretical by some Christian leaders. For example, the book describes the fallen angels in a way that differs from the traditional view of angels as purely spiritual beings. These angels descended to earth and became enamored with human women, fornicating with them. It also contains a vision of a messianic figure who is referred to as the Son of Man, which some Christian leaders may have found confusing or contrary to their own teachings about the nature of Christ. But did you know that only the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church regards the Book of Enoch as scripture? Well, now you know. And finally, the book's origins and authorship were unclear, which may have also contributed to its exclusion from the biblical canon. While the book claims to be written by Enoch himself, scholars now believe that it was composed by multiple authors over a period of several centuries. How would Enoch's writings have survived the Great Flood? Perhaps only if Noah had stashed copies of it on his ark. And there you have it. The Book of Enoch remains a mystery and continues to draw attention. Perhaps one day more scrolls will be found that reveal more about the book and its origin. Until then, stay curious and let us know in the comments if you think the book should be part of the official canon. Join us for more as we'll dig into the writings even deeper